Welcome to the village. I'm Mr. Adams, and today we'll be recreating the works of three architectural photographers. Our first photographer is Mauren Brodbeck, a Swiss photographer, and she's very much known for her bold colors and layered compositions, as we can see in the images displayed over here. So I'm going to demonstrate how to recreate examples of these works. The first thing we do is to start a new file. Go on A4, leave the orientation to portrait depending on your photograph. You then go to create, and then there you have it. You have a document to work with. Drag your image from downloads or the desktop, wherever it's saved, onto Photoshop. And then stretch it to film. Double click. If you do not get the transformation points on the image, use the shortcut Ctrl+T and that should appear. Now, to create a work in the style of Mauren Brodbeck, all I have to do is create a new layer here. Select the new layer. It's a square with a plus sign in it. Click on new layer and then look for a polygonal lasso tool. Select the polygonal lasso tool. Make sure your new layer is highlighted. Zoom in to where you want to highlight to place color. So we're going to select polygonal lasso tool. Click from here all the way up here, then down this way, that way. Trying to select the top part. Now you're going to end up where you started from. Once you get to where you started from, you find out it's been selected, and all you have to do now is go and get a paint bucket. Select a color of your choice. I'll pick a very bright color and then drop it in, and there you have it. Mauren Brodbeck, as simple as that. Then you click on Ctrl+D or Command+D if you're using a MacBook to deselect. And just as we saw in some of her works, you can see through the bold colors. And to do that, what you have to do is click on your layer, and then we have the opacity right here. Reduce the opacity, and then you'll be able to see through it. And that is how you recreate a Mauren Brodbeck. So you can apply the same steps to a number of images. Now what we'll be doing is we'll be moving on to the next photographer. Our next photographer is Houte. Now, Houte is a Belgian photographer based near Antwerp. In a lot of his images, you'd find that they are black and white, as you see on the screen here. Now he primarily focuses on architecture and abstract forms in his images. So that's what he's looking at whenever he's shooting. Abstract forms when he's taking pictures of his buildings. Because a lot of his images are in black and white, this is how to recreate his black and white images. You go through the same process as we did for Mauren Brodbeck. Select a document A4 and create it. Drag your selected image onto your working area. Make sure it fits. Double click. And what you have to do is select your layer, go on image, you should find black and white. Select black and white, and then over here you can adjust the amount of hue that you need in each area. Now that'll be completely up to you how you'd want it. But this is how we create the black and white images of Jeff Van Den Houte. When you're done, you click on OK, and that is done as well. Our last photographer will be David Copithorne, and he likes to manipulate images digitally and sometimes using geometric elements. So examples of his works are what we can see. He'll sometimes insert images and then rotate them upside down, or duplicate images and give them a twist and feeling. So what we are going to do now is to recreate an example of his work. We are going to do that by creating a new document. We are first going to try the upside down images. Inserting in the upside down images, what we do first is duplicate our layer, and then we have two images. The next step is to click on the shape tool or the rectangle tool, right click on it to get an ellipse tool. With your finger on shift, draw a circle, and if it's filled within, all you have to do is come to appearances, properties, and select no color. And for the stroke, that's what we need. So you want to select a color for your stroke and then increase the thickness of it. After increasing the thickness of your outline, you drag it underneath the first image, so we can't see it now because it's underneath the first image. And what you have to do after is put your finger on Alt. For MacBooks, Apple laptops, it will be Option, and then place the cursor or mouse in between the image at the top and the outline layer and click. When you click, it means that this image has been placed into the outline. So now we need to merge these two layers so that we can rotate them. Place your finger on, press on Shift, select both layers, right click, merge layers. And as merged, you can rotate it, and there we have it, just like his first work over here. And that is done. Now if you've done it with circle, you can do it with any other shape. So let's try another one. Control Z all the way back. Let's try it with triangle. First thing we do is you are going to duplicate the image, duplicate. So we have two images here. Go for the shape tool, look for a triangle, keep your finger on shift to draw perfect triangle. Oh no, that's a mistake, delete that, move tool. Now if there's a color within your triangle like this, you want to take it off by coming here and selecting no color. You want the stroke, that is the outline of the triangle, and this is how you reduce or increase the thickness. The next thing is to drag the triangle underneath your first image. Click on the first image, finger on Alt or Option, and then you realize that the cursor will change. You press it, and then you have that arrow. It means it's been inserted into the outline. With your finger on Shift, select both layers, merge them, and now you can rotate. To recreate the buildings twisting, what we have to do is go back to our image just like how we started, and then we're going to duplicate again. So duplicate it, duplicate the layer, and then what we're going to do is shape tool, select the ellipse tool with your finger on shift. I'm going to draw a really big circle, reduce it a bit, and this time we don't want the outline, we want the fill. Right, so what you have to do is come for the fill, give it a color, and then take the stroke off, no color for the stroke, so that we have only the fill. And then increase it a tiny bit. Control Z, we don't want the fill, so we increase. We don't want the stroke, the outline, so we increase our fill. And then what we do is we place an image on top of it, one of the images. Same process, Option or Alt in between, and then click on it. Merge the two layers, merge layers, and then we have this image right here. Now what we are going to do now is we're going to duplicate it and reduce the size of it. So while we duplicate it, we reduce the size. So Control C, Control V, and then what we do is we reduce the size. We keep it in the middle, and then we do that again for always the layers on top. We click on the layer on top, Control C, Control V, reduce the size, keep it in the middle. Photoshop will automatically snap to the middle. Click on that again, Control C, Control V. Always select the layer on top before you duplicate. Select it, Control C, Control V. Reduce the size, keep it in the middle. Click here, Control C, Control V. Reduce the size, keep it in the middle. Select, Control C, Control V, reduce the size, keep it in the middle. Now we are going to do is we are going to go all the way down, select and start twisting from the bottom layer up. Select and twist. Select, twist, select and twist. Select, twist all the way, select, and twist, then we'll leave the last one, and there you have it, a recreated work like David Copithorne will have it, and that's it. Great, thank you. I'll see you in another lesson.